Hello guys, welcome to Masandawana Fan vlog. I think from now on until the end of the season, we will dedicate each and every episode to Anelengong and Muteka Madisha. Once again, man, may Anele and Muteka's souls rest in peace. Tough time for the team. It's a tough time. It's a tough time, and because none of our games were, and because we played the games that we thought maybe would be postponed, it's like somehow we've even forgotten what's going on, and it's still a tough time for the team. So yeah, man, let's get into the game. What's up, Luke?
Not too bad. Yeah.
You've cut your hair, so I wonder. I hope people are not wondering. And Mango,
who's this? Still sad from last week's news. So yeah, not too bad. But we have to move on again. We have to live.
Yeah. Wait, before we start, what did I say to you on WhatsApp when we saw the starting lineup?
But this gives you TTM vibes.
Yeah, I told you this gives me TTM vibes. When I saw 4 midfielders, our force, like midfielders that we would usually play in our midfield 3, and there's 4 of them on the pitch. Kahopola Chaguma, because we did the same and played Mkhuma up front. And
like we did with Mangerman today.
Yeah, like we did with Grand Mangerman today. Happy that Grand Mangerman started a game, but yeah, not convincing from the team. But yeah, what did you want to say?
At halftime I said to Neo, take a point and go home.
At halftime.
We were not playing. After we scored the goal, Arrows started dominating us. They won every second ball. We couldn't get our rhythm going. And I thought to myself, change team, a team that's going through a whole lot of stuff, against a team Eshinki was in the whole season, windy day, the sandy pitch. Sometimes like the universe conspires, and right today, I wouldn't have been shocked had we lost. I wouldn't have been shocked had we lost.
Yeah, that's true.
This might turn out to be a big point in the end. Yes, now it's fresh, it's frustrating. We're on a good run. We should be collecting as many points as we can now before the start of the Champions League. But sometimes, guys, just sometimes we have an off day. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes an off day. And who are we to win every game? Seriously, who are we?
There was a big positive today. Do you know what the positive was? A huge positive in terms of our season run. There was a huge positive. Can you guess what the positive was?
Oh, tough to take a positive word.
Yeah, but there was a huge positive today. Dennis Masinde Onyango, every season has 1 howler in his pocket. And, and he gave it away today. So at least like we are getting all the negative things like out of the way. And last season he did it against Arrows in the rain, and today he did it against Arrows in the wind. I mean, yeah, that's a simple. But when I really, you know what's funny? The way that ball came to him, like during warm up, those are the drills he does. But like he did it that other season. He did it. Today he did it against Arrows. Last season he did it against Arrows. The season before he did it against Polokwane City at Loftus. Season before he did it against Maritzburg United at Herigwan. So I'm happy. Like that's one big plus about today's game. That's the only positive thing we can be happy about. That Masinde's 1 howler per season is used up for the season. So I'm going forward.
And in all of those howlers, we've never won a game.
We've never won a game in all those howlers. Today we drew. Last season we lost. Other season we drew. That other season we drew as well. So I'm glad we got that out of the way, and now we can get to serious business. And another thing, it was such a frustrating game. But then there were so many factors that I want us to discuss. And then one of the positives today is that this is a game we usually lose. Not against Arrows away. I'm just saying the way we played, usually
when we lose a game.
Yeah, we lose this type of games, but we drew today, and the one thing that I was looking as a positive when we signed Mvala, he came up and did it, and Mvala is so strong. That is a piece, and what I like is that this season we have already scored from 3 corner kicks. Corner kicks, dead balls, Sundowns, like in previous seasons. But the last time we were scoring a lot of corners was during the CBD era when Castro was hitting up everything in the air. Then we were not doing that for the past 3 seasons. And this season we are on match day 8 and we've already scored from 3 corner kicks. I'm happy that our goals vary. Our goals vary. I don't think we scored from a corner last season. I can't remember. I can't think of a goalie or corner kick. But this season we've already scored a free kick. We've scored through corners. So we have a variety in goals. And as the legend Junior Kanye will say, you play today, determines how you'll play tomorrow. So I'm happy that we can score goals from different scenarios, and I think that's a good thing that we can take out of the game. I know Sundowns supporters want to win every single game. Like Sundowns is not supposed to lose, according to Sundowns supporters. Or draw. Yes, or draw. Like, I hate it. I hate it, but I think one thing that is Pito's legacy, one of Pito's legacies at Sundowns, is to teach you to see the trees for the forest. Because sometimes you're so close, all you see is a tree, but if you withdraw, you can see that, it's actually a forest. So I'm happy that Pito gave us that, because there were games that were so frustrating that supporters were not happy in previous seasons. And he said, this will turn out to be a big point. And then win the league 3 points or got 2 points or however points. And you always think back, this might have been that point. So, so now at the beginning of the game, I already said to you guys, I'm getting Chakuma vibes. So I'm not disappointed about the loss, about the draw. Well, maybe it even sounds like a loss.
It's like a loss.
I'm not too disappointed with this draw.
Same. Obviously, during the game and right after the game, frustrated. Why didn't we play better? Why is so and so missing? Why is 1, 2, 3? But when you, like you said, when you move away and you see a forest, not just a 1-3, you realize, okay, guys, let's be rational. Let's think a bit.
Yeah.
Arrows, I think the whole season, they're a decent PSL team. At the end of the day, we have quality. We're the best team in the land. At the end of the day, Arrows have not lost in the league this season. They're a difficult team to beat. As we saw last season, last minute, the other game by the Jali. We are missing the football of the season. We are missing, I'd say, 4 or 5 starters on a normal day, where we're missing 5 sure starters, and that makes a huge. Boy, take out any 4 or 5 key players out of any team in the world, it makes a big difference, especially away from home. It makes a difference. I can't. Yes, the pitch. Both teams play on that sandy pitch. Both teams play gather wind, going into different directions. But it plays a role, boy. It plays a role. When you take those factors and Unahana, okay, we're still unbeaten. We still have a little bit of momentum. We still targeting. Okay, no, you're 11 out of 15. You don't beat 13 out of 15, unfortunately. You're 11 out of 15.
But anything above 10, you're okay. You're good.
You're on track. You're definitely on track. And don't forget, 12 out of 15 every 5-game block. We break the record because as this league is going, boy, we won't need to break records. We would love to break records, but we won't need to break records to win the league.
If we continue the way we are going now, and you keep taking 10 plus points, you are guaranteed at least above 60 points, because in the first game block we took 13. Now we've taken 11. Even if we take 10 for the next 4 game blocks, you're guaranteed 64 points, which I believe last 3 or let's say last 2 game blocks, there you can. There's one where you will take 15.
5 for 5.
Exactly. So I think we are so healthy, man. I think the way things are going, and it's hard to talk about, but we have to talk about it. After Madisha's passing, I thought about, I obviously didn't think about football. Mabane, I think, when I was thinking about this game, I thought, you know what? If we go out of this match block and the next one with 10 or more points, it would actually be ridiculous, because these guys have lost a colleague, they've lost a brother, they've lost a family member. These guys spend more time with each other than their families. You know what I mean? So even getting the 3 points against TS Galaxy, that was beyond. Exactly. You see, so we must factor in those things. For us supporters, I'm not saying we are, but I'm just saying, as an example, we might forget a bit quicker and maybe just want to get the ball rolling in terms of the football side. But these guys, you must remember that Madisha hasn't even, no official word has come out. They still haven't buried the guy. The emotional toll it's going to take on them, going to another funeral, coming into terms with the fact that they've lost a teammate, they've lost a colleague, they've lost a brother, a fellow soldier. It might actually derail what must happen on the field even more. So I'm just saying we must keep that in mind. I'm not trying to make excuses for the team or dwell on this matter much, because it's still a bit uncomfortable to talk about. But I'm just saying we must keep that in mind. These guys are not in their normal state. Maybe the newer ones might not feel it as much as the Maboes, the Letos, Mkhulises, like Trompos, like they might not take it the way those guys are going to take it, but it's going to happen.
And death or whatever hits people at different times.
Yes.
You might say, I'm making an example. You might say, but Nshishi played on Tuesday. We don't know why Nshishi didn't play today. He could have been injured in training. He could have tested for COVID. He could have been mourning. Like Madisha's death could have hit him yesterday. Like we don't know.
All we don't know is because everything we're gonna say now is speculation, because there's no official word as to why he didn't play.
Exactly, it's speculation. So we should like, I really coach you, boy, but Naloena, after George Maluleka, for example, played a very good game on Tuesday, you think the coaches would just drop him?
No.
No. Yeah, because they feel like okay, Alfred told Mvala chance, man. We'll beat Aruska. Honestly, guys, things are.
Yeah, I wanted us to touch on that. Another thing we must remember as football lovers and as supporters is that there's a pandemic out there, and now we are in a second wave, which is reported to be a higher infection rate than it was in the first wave. And it actually mutated 3 times more than the first one and whatnot. So it's actually more dangerous now. So you must remember that we are not in a bubble now. These guys are going to Woolies with the rest of us. These guys are taking out their kids to the parks and whatever. They're still...
The kids are going to school. We don't know.
Yeah, they live with family members who have regular jobs, unlike them who are in a controlled, maybe like in terms of being at Clercorp and staying almost every week. So let's remember that there's a pandemic out there, and just because it's not being reported or anything, but players are still testing positive for coronavirus. So bear that in mind, Huri. You might see someone today, and I just saw a tweet here over someone can drop a 10 out of 10 today and not be around next week, and you mustn't think it's rotation.
Like,
excuse me.
Bear this in mind. I don't want. Riva is missing.
Sompo is missing.
Liusa Frompo is missing.
Mkhuma is missing. Gilead is missing.
Mudiba.
Langerman is missing.
Langa.
Kemet is missing.
Kemet. Gaston Arijuta Langayen. Afonso Arijuta Langayen. Give Mutupa is missing. That's like 12 first team players or 13 first team players.
Yeah.
And you think all of them are injured or all of them are being rotated or all of them have a saver for the team from Botswana? Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but I think let's touch on the game. It's actually tougher to say or to be too critical after everything we've said. It's even tougher to be too critical because as much as I want to be critical, because today we were awful. We were awful. Arrows were a much better team than us. We didn't. I guess we were not threatening today. We were not really threatening, but it's because of we are off rhythm. We are off rhythm for a lot of reasons. For one, 2 players who haven't played football in over a year and a half were on the field today. Okay, but Bangali came on a bit late, and Mandela Onyango has played games now, but Mvala is only coming on for the first time since when did the bubble end? September.
September.
Yeah. So like that's how long he hasn't played. So yeah, loss of rhythm because of a lot of changes, and common sense is saying the changes were forced changes. Common sense says that. Yeah, and also there's a bereavement in the team, so it's tough to be critical because what are you gonna say, Tito? I mean, what are you gonna say? But yeah, we were awful today, and
it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away the fact that we were poor today. We were poor.
Very poor, yeah.
Like Arrows were looked hungrier than us. They worked harder than us. They looked like they wanted it more than us. Not that we didn't want it, but Arrows, like I say, on the field there are 2 teams. I don't really want there are 2 teams, and sometimes, just sometimes, the other team is better than you. And in this instance, the other team was better than us, and still we didn't lose.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And I don't know. I'm just glad we got a point out of this, and we are on 5 points now. For our second, what do you call it? Our second block.
Block, 5.9.
Yeah. Usually, December is a time where Sundowns
kicks on.
Up. Yeah, like why you do it now? around Christmas time, we are only show stories how, you know what I mean? But halfway there, so yeah. But this is not a normal year, and to add that, like, we've had two players who lost their lives. Yeah, it's just not a normal time. You can expect December Sundowns now, and yeah, at least it was our last game for the calendar year 2020. It was a very successful year for Sundowns. Yeah, a year of ups and downs. Like the ups were really up and the downs were like really down, like bottom drawer. But
exactly, like the two extremes, like winning the treble and losing two players to death. Like those are two extremes. Like
you don't get losing our coach as well, losing our coach to Al Ahly as well.
Yeah, you don't get more extreme things than that.
Yeah, like this is the year where Rulani came back to Sundowns. Like there's so many things happened this year, man. So many things. But yeah, one last game to play Joanning on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday or Wednesday. All I know Rebelo Hall.
Yeah,
all I know Rebelo Hall. That's what I know.
Yeah, I think if we can just try to be mentally stronger and get that match out of the way, like I think it would help the guys a lot, so that we don't have too much to worry about. Like zone out for like this game on Tuesday, play the game, come back and deal with what needs to be dealt with, and then we look forward to the end of the year and pray hard that 2021 comes with a fresh start, like a fresh start, like, because wow. So yeah, man, I think let's just get into player ratings. Yeah. Oh, can I please have the two Onyangos to give me? Can this be my Christmas present from you to me?
Go for it.
I think Masinde today was Masinde today. He actually agrees, like Masinde wasn't good today. He wasn't good.
And he could have cost us the point.
I was about to say we actually got away with it today, because I think there were two instances where I thought they were too close to each other. The elbow thing and the tackle from Mandela Onyango. Jali Kabane just
walked
away. I think if it was Gomes, one of those were a penalty. One of those were a penalty.
Even a red card.
Even a red card somewhere there. Yeah, so I think we big point. We're gonna remember this point. I think Dennis today could have done better. The goal we conceded, because as much as Arrows played well, they didn't really cause such a threat in terms of like their shots on target, but they played much better. And he could have easily gotten himself in trouble. I understand what he was doing there. Sometimes when you want to be in control of the box and you need players to be fearful of you. I was listening to Figo Mtambo and sorry to digress. I was listening to Figo Mtambo and on Marawa's show, and they were saying when Richard Ofori came, by the first training session, he came in actually six high, and he was putting on his studs, like screwing on his studs. And he said, "Hey, the medical team is not busy. I want to give them a job. Someone must go there." So they know he's such a threat that they know when he's in the box, must know you're gonna get a knee on your chest or a knee somewhere. Tyson in the final. So keepers do that, and it's not dirty play. You want to put fear in the strikers' heads, and you want to be so commanding. Sometimes goalkeepers will give you a punch, like not to be malicious, but to make you feel like how defenders will just rough you up a bit. So what he was doing, you know, when a player comes at you and you want to be a bit physical, you just nudge them away. So I think the nudge was timed well, but he didn't know the guy will place a crocodile and unfortunately catch him on the face. But that nudge is a routine nudge, you know what I mean? We were lucky not to consider penalty there. I think Onyango today, I'm gonna give him a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, I think a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 3 out of 10. He wasn't good today. Lakay.
Delicious ball for the goal.
Yes, nice assist.
Delicious ball. Yeah, just that the rest of the set pieces, he didn't try to whip them in, and the wind wasn't helping him. The rest of the set piece was poor today. He was all right. Again, undroppable. You can't drop him. Not a poor performance. Not great. A 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nascimento.
Sleeping for the goal.
Yeah.
The striker got in front of him. He was ball watching. Sleeping for the goal. Yeah. Poor.
I told you about Mento. Mento is either very poor or very good.
Very good. True. There's no grade.
I'm a grade area. Rating?
4.
Okay. You know, I give Mandela Onyango the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't played football in a while, ne? But I think up until the season ends, I will question the signing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming in handy now in the situation we find ourselves in. But our guys, we could have just went for the rook once. Like, you know, it's still a questionable signing. One of the oddest signings Sundowns has had in a while. And okay, like, you know, like aerial balls will be routine because of his size and whatnot. But am I being too harsh? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because am I being too harsh?
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not.
He's oh my God. He is so jittery. Like nothing inspires. You know, today, like I was watching the game, and then I was like, oh my God, like we might be in trouble up until the next transfer window opens. Like, oh my God, no, man. I just don't feel comfortable with the guy there. And
for the first time,
boy, I mean, you know, like I always told you, Kalibusa, you know, when they score, you're like, they're supposed to score. You have this assurance. You know, Onyango and Nascimento. No, guys. At least Madisha, like, Natsola, Masuva, but oh my God. Oh, not Mandela, guys. The Dibs. No, guys.
For the first time, I looked forward. I didn't look to the next game. I looked to the next league game. Masindele, I mean,
Mento and
up against Lodge, Pule, Lepasa, or Mawasa, or Mahango.
And then there's Zuka Manja. Guys.
We might have to outscore them. Totally we're 5-4 because they're
organized chaos is gonna help us now. I mean, really, we have to outscore them. It might end up like 5-3 or 5-4.
They'll definitely score. That I know for sure. They'll definitely score.
Why are we not playing Bengali at least, guys? Someone who's been there, like.
But remember, there was a point last season. I don't know what's the situation with Musa Lubus. There was a point where we played Musa and Mento. Mento was playing right centre back and Musa was playing left centre back. I don't know if the coaching staff might look into that. If Musa is fit again, we don't know what the situation is with him. So I'm thinking if that might be an option to look at for the next few games. And
you know, I wouldn't mind having Mento playing right centre back as long as you have Libusa on the pitch. I know, okay, like
exactly.
The way I see it, I'm like, okay, yeah, but you can't play. Mento right now is playing well and this and that. When we are winning, and he's a left centre back, you know, you want balance on the pitch. You can play two. Yeah, you can play two left-footed left centre backs, but like you're saying, we once played them, and we're playing well, and can we please have that? Remember when Pizzo wanted Mvala and says, "Can I have those things?"
Yes.
Please have that.
No, can you please have those things?
Please, guys. Could you someone that play right center back? Oh,
I'm sure you can.
Something, guys. Someone, guys. Or maybe play Mvala, but not Mandela, guys.
Not Mandela.
Mandela, man. I'm gonna give him a 3 as well. I'm gonna give him a 3. I wanted to be a bit more harsher, but we didn't lose the game. Tapelo.
You can rate it.
No, but I rated Mandela and okay, it's starting to look like the old Tapelo, ne? Like, the fear is out. It's starting to look like the old Tapelo.
Targeting his side, like a lot of attack came on their left and on our right.
But they were coming, I think, a bit more on their right because of Dube was going up a lot.
In the second half, yes, definitely.
In the second half, yeah. But yeah, Capello, I think Liena is the same as Lyle. Not awful, not too good. 5.
5, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Mvala.
I counted 6 misplaced passes, like straight passes, like Mutonta equal the next man, and he passed the option.
And sorry to cut you off. And come into that position and misplace 6 passes where you have a Rivaldo who averages at least 90+% in terms of passing, and after George Maduleka gave that performance on Wednesday, when are you coming and misplace 6 passes? Mvala don't know how to use their chances. When else are you going to get this chance? Okay, yeah, but you might get it because of the pandemic. But yeah, you can go on.
3.
You don't even consider a Golnyana to and bump him up a bit.
In that position, boy, I need you to dictate play. I need you to, especially after we were under siege, to get hold of the ball. A pass, Iseko AJ, Iseko Lebza, we receive, Iseko our wing backs, or we played into the channel for Shalulile to run onto. He didn't do that. He didn't. He committed a lot of fouls.
Is he not? Is he not also getting a benefit of the doubt that in this first match,
this game,
we played nine games this season?
I was about to say maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe it's his first game. Maybe I'm harsh. Maybe a 4.
Yeah, maybe a 4 is a bit. Yeah, a 4 is a bit better because the guys who gave 3 were absolutely pathetic.
Oh, true.
Yeah. At least the Fonyana. I was trying to give him yeah. How good was Lebo?
Our best player.
Lebo was our best player today. You know, Lebo's agility, his athleticism, and you know, most of the time when you find a player who is like playing with such athleticism and has so much like in the tank to give. Obonim Toby, I think the fact that in his first game, it showed he has to be taken off. Because I wondered why are they putting in Bengali for him? Because it's like onto a person who hasn't played in a while for a person who hasn't played in a while, and because of how the game was going, our coaches just thought, you know what, guys, let's just take a point here. Because if it was me or anyone who was naive, I'd at least Hashim Domingo there to say, let me see if I can get something. But
let's go for it.
Exactly. But you also have a Villa who last played football against Baroka in the bubble, and he just came back from a bad injury as well. So I think I can't fault our coaches for going that route and putting on Bengali. But yes, I even lost my train of thought. I was saying about Lebza Hore. Most of the time when you find a player who's that agile, that athletic, a box-to-box player who has presence on the pitch, you don't find them with like a good first touch, or technically sometimes they're a bit they have a bit of shortcomings. But Lebo is so good. He really loses the ball. Like there's a point where he lost the ball and he literally just sprinted and won back the ball. And I think Lebo is such an asset. That boy is such an asset. Like he's such an asset. Ever since he came to Sundowns, he has found a way to show you how important he is. The first season, scored 9 league goals. Second season, he didn't play well the whole season, but scored a hat-trick when it counted the most. This season, he's giving us so much dynamism in the midfield. I'm so happy about Lebo, man. I hope he stays injury-free. I'm gonna give Lebo. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. He was our best player today. No one can go higher than him. Yeah. Another player who's so good, AJ.
Also, but today I felt he was a bit flat.
Yeah, he was.
I felt he was a bit flat today. He gave away, like, no pressure plus, like, he should have really, one pressure once or twice he lost the ball, and the third time, still he lost the ball. He should have realized, these Arrows players are on chance to receive and pass. He told a bit on the ball. He lost the ball a couple of times. He wasn't his usual, like, self, like AG Olawa,
dominates everything.
Still, he wasn't there. He wasn't there today.
Rating?
5 or 4.5. 5.
Yeah, I think 5 is good enough. Promise Mkhuma was solid by that game today.
Yeah.
The thing about Promise is that there's so many things to consider. One, now I'm naturally a bit more lenient to our development players, like to our academy players, not development players, our academy players. I'm a bit more lenient towards them, even though there comes a time where you have to be harsh, because they are where they are because they are good enough. With Promise is that he's still trying to figure out his way in the team because he's so new. Like he came in the bubble and he played some games when we were not doing well. And then even now, he hasn't featured much. He came on against CT, and we also had our backs to the wall a bit, even though we were winning the game. And I think he's going through that. The fact that he's still trying to find his feet in the first team, and it was an awful game for everyone. And such a, you wish he comes on when you beat and Bosch to a cup like we did. You wish he comes in those type of games. So where it's a bit, the pressure is a bit less. Yeah. So for now, I think we'll let it slide a bit, even though he can do better because other players sometimes they come in and they take their chance. But we'll give him a bit of room to say, you know what, you're still finding your feet. The moment you find your feet, we'll be a bit more harsher, or we'll be a bit more demanding. Let me use that word instead of harsh. We'll be a bit more demanding of you. But yeah, I think it wasn't a good showing from him. It wasn't a good showing. I think it's a 4 out of 10, but not a 4 of saying you were bad. It's just, yeah, he wasn't good. I'm not saying he was bad, but he wasn't good. Yeah. Hachim. Grand Mangerman, I mean.
Yeah, not good enough today. Grand Mangerman was, I thought he was played out of position. Like it's the same position they played
against Chakuma.
And he was poor. And as soon as they put Mkhulisigo the 8, he was normal. I thought that position didn't help him. The pitch didn't help him. This game where Arrows players press like crazy didn't help him. He gave away the ball for the goal. He gave away too many balls. Like he lost too many balls. He didn't take good care of the ball. And normally, he's such a lovely player to watch. Normally, he takes such good care of the ball. He knows how to play as a player. So, out of character performance. Hopefully he learns. He goes back to training and he learns, and he'll drop 8 out of 10s a lot of times this season. It's just that today he was off. He was off today.
One thing to take away from him is that in the instances where he lost the ball, he was trying a risky pass, and he was trying to be a bit more creative. And what I like about him is his energy and his desire. At least that is there.
No, definitely. He was pulled out at halftime. I'll give him a 4.
So yeah, that's a good rating. Shalulile as well today looked a bit lonely without Mchichi. Shalulile with Mchichi and Romeo taking some of the pressure. Like, he gets a bit of more room to operate the way he usually does. But they, as a lone striker and as like a lone, the only person where you look at and you think, you hope to get a goal from, and I think that didn't help.
Yeah,
I think that didn't. I think it was a 4.5 today, but not faulting him for the effort. The effort will always be there. The effort will always be there. Yeah. But
the effort will always be 10.
Yes, but it just wasn't his game. Villa.
Kapinga came in at halftime, ne?
But didn't they come on together?
Kapinga straight halftime. Villa got it 5 or 10 minutes late.
Yes.
Kapinga.
It's like my mind is even switched off here that you're talking about Kapinga. My thing with Kapinga, Pluto, is that Kapinga looks lethargic on the ball, Pluto. And I always remember that thing you said, like when you said what Coach Peter always says, or sometimes like Mchichi and Gaston sometimes are naughty for playing just to play. And Kapinga, in almost all the games, actually all the games he came on since Stellenbosch, and with Stellenbosch is that we were winning, and it's his first game.
I
don't know. There's no man. Like, there was a ball where I even had the commentator Rulane is like losing his mind on the bench. They just didn't show it, and I was losing my mind as well, because there was a ball that came to him. All he needed to do was just turn and face the post. And defenders, once you turn and people start making runs, they panic a bit. So you can be lucky and play through ball. Moto is caught off guard, and we get a goal out of nothing. He got that ball on the edge of the box and he played a pass back. And I'm like, Kapinga, what are you doing, son? Like, you know where you are. Like, this is Mamelodi Sundowns. Like, you need to be switched on when you are in the final third. Like, he was so man, he was so casual, Pluto. Like, I wasn't happy. Guys.
That's the way about it. He's casual. He's hopefully he learns. Hopefully he
what's more frustrating? That Gaston, in those situations, that's where you get your goal, or at least you get an attempt. That's where you get your attempts or goals from Gaston. Kapinga, I'm like, my man, you see the score? No, guys. These are things that need to be corrected, but let's not be too harsh on him, because Liana is still new. I think it is. He's only came on from the bench, and maybe he's still, like learning the Sundowns way, but he needs to do better. What rating are you gonna give him?
3.
Yeah, I think so. 3. I'm gonna give Villa a 4.5. I don't know if it's too much.
I was thinking a 4.
A 4, okay. Let's give him a 4. But the thing about Villa is that Villa is not your Gaston. And with Villa, when you're chasing a game, my man, like when you put Villa on there, like it's 50-50. It's either you get something or you're not gonna get something. The one thing about him, like, there was a moment where he got the ball and he looked like he was gonna play it back, and he just squeezed in between two defenders, and he advanced the ball forward, but we didn't have a lot of good runs in front of him. Yes, but he was trying. Even though today was just an awful performance. Yeah, I think Villa 4 as well. Coaches.
Not enough for Bengali. No?
Oh yeah, not enough for Bengali. And Mudau, yeah.
Yeah. The coaches, I don't know. I'm not too sure about the coaches. I want to give them a 4. Like I think 4 is an average.
No.
The whole team. Listen, why get it? I wanna give them a 4, but then again, I'm thinking we are playing football in unprecedented times. I don't know why the players that are missing, and I won't put that on the coaches. I'll never put that on coaches because it doesn't make sense to just trust Mushishi for a team from Botswana. So, having said that, playing Mangerman where they played him is another brain fart from them after them Kulisi brain fart against TTM. So for that,
I think today was actually a good day to start Kapinga up front.
Neil said that.
It was a good day to start Kapinga up front instead of Grant.
So having said that, take on another injury list or the players that are missing, but the players that are available, play them in the right positions or play the right players at the right time. Maybe, I don't know, between a 4 and a 5 for me.
I think 5. Yeah. That's it. Nothing more we can say about today's game. I think we just move on from this performance and this result and go give the Botswana team hands, come back and deal with everything we have to deal with, and the year ends, and hopefully 2021 is a better year. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe. Please like this video, and yeah, thanks guys. See you on Tuesday.
Cheers.